I've been thinking about a particular aerial configuration which I thought might be an interesting project to experiment with. And the video you're about to see now is a result of my thoughts on this and how it all worked out. So join me on this particular antenna project. Could I create an efficient antenna for portable operation and perhaps for a small garden? A simple antenna system that would be flexible, could work on several bands, but above all would be efficient. Well, let me go through what I've been working on and you judge for yourself. I wanted to base my antenna around a vertical because a vertical antenna doesn't take up so much room, but it does need radials. But the problem with vertical antennas is that, first of all, they tend to pick up more noise than a horizontal antenna. Nothing much you can do about that. You can put a line isolator in and you can try and make sure the antenna is not too near local noise. But the other problem, which I think is a significant problem, is that vertical antennas tend to give low angles of radiation, both receive and transmit. Now, you may think, well, that's ideal for DX, but the problem is that if, for example, you're on 20 metres during the day and there's no openings to the States, there's plenty of traffic from Europe, but there's no real DX at all, and you've missed the opening to the Pacific. The problem then is the vertical antenna doesn't work wonderfully well because it's still generating low angle radiation and you're missing the higher angle which you would need to work into Europe. And I've been thinking that there may be a way around this, because it's still be nice to use a vertical antenna, but how can we actually raise the angle of radiation from a vertical antenna? Well, that's what I've been trying to do. Now, I based my antenna on the ATAS-25, which is a Yaesu vertical antenna, portable antenna. It's variable frequency, so you can adjust it to any band from 40 metres through to 6 metres. It actually does cover 2 metres as well, but I haven't used that at all. But it's handy, it covers all the popular HF bands. It's a manual antenna, you have to manually tune it. And well, I'll just show you the antenna now. Now, as you can see, I've mounted the antenna on a tripod. The base of the antenna's around about 1.25 metres above the ground. Now, if we come in a bit closer, you'll see that I've used just one radial, which is unusual for verticals. Normally you'd have above ground radials, you'd have 2, 3 or 4. Of course, at ground level you'd have a lot more. But I've got just one radial. Let me explain the theory behind this. Well, I've come over into the shade actually. It's the weather we're having this year in summer is really hot. Anyway, I showed you the antenna. Now let me tell you the theory behind this. I reckon that if I was to use a short vertical antenna like this antenna, the ATAS-25, which is base loaded, if I was to add a single radial to it, I might be able to persuade the system to generate some higher angle radiation. So I placed the base of the antenna about 1.5 metres above the ground, 1.2, 1.25, 1.5 metres above the ground, and I've anchored the radial against a wooden chair here, which is just under 1 metre high. So the antenna radial is a single radial, and it's coming down a slight angle. It's not horizontal. Bring it down at a slight angle. That will tend to improve the matching impedance. It'll tend to raise the impedance because the impedance of a vertical antenna is low, and if you have a shortened antenna like the ATAS-25, then it's even lower. But having set up the system and made sure that the radial is the correct length for a quarter wave on 20 metres, I was getting a very good VSWR on the antenna analyzer. So my thought was that with this system, I should be able to force the radial to actually radiate more than it would do. In a normal system where you've got, for example, if you've got the antenna above ground and you've got two radials 180 degrees opposite each other, they tend to cancel out their radiation. There's not so much radiation from the radials. But if you remove one of those radials, then you force quite a lot of current through that remaining radial, which should radiate, and because it's fairly low, it should radiate fairly high angle radiation. Now, because the radial is only about 1.5 meters above the ground, it's still going to be affected by the ground beneath it, and to some extent that is an unknown quantity, because the ground beneath the antenna is going to vary from wherever you are in the country. But it should result in an antenna which has higher than normal angle of radiation, which is great for daytime contact on 20 meters. Now, I recently had an email from somebody who said that they go out, they do the POTA activity and so forth, but with a vertical antenna they find that they don't have too much inter-G contact. Now, they were talking about 40 meters and 20 meters. Now, I can understand, particularly on 40 meters, that a vertical antenna is not the best antenna for 40 meters during the day. As we've said earlier in the video, low angle radiation, that's not what you want on 40 meters during the daytime. Because it's low angle radiation, it certainly won't give much inter-G work, and it won't be great for even close in Western European stations. So you do need some high angle on 20 meters to a lesser extent, but you've still got this problem of low angle radiation. So my idea was, with this system, I'm going to try and force the antenna to actually, or the antenna system to actually radiate some higher angle radiation. And I think, I can't prove this at the moment, but I think that using a short antenna on the tripod actually forces even more current to flow down the radial and produce high angle radiation. And initial tests have proved to be quite favourable. What I've done is I've put out CQ calls and test calls on reverse beacon network, and I've found that I certainly get stronger signals from 20 metres from Western Europe than I do on a normal vertical, and the whole thing seems to be working as I hoped. In other words, giving higher angle radiation signals from a vertical antenna, which is a little bit unusual. There is another advantage of this system, nothing to do with the angle of radiation, but because you've just got one radial, it takes up far less room. It takes up half the space that it would do if you had two radials. And that means to say that if you've got a small garden, you could actually get some decent 20-metre operation where all you need is a horizontal space of around about 16 or 17 feet, and then a short vertical antenna on some method of support to bring it to resonance. Now, it's important that the radial is resonant. It's not super critical, but you need to measure it out to make sure that it's approximately a resonant radial. There's nothing to be gained to spending too much time on it, but in old money, a quarter wave on 20 metres is 16.5 feet. And whether that's dead on resonance or not, it doesn't really matter, because the slack will be taken up by your vertical antenna, the short vertical antenna. What about if you put a full-size vertical up? Well, a full-size vertical up will still give you this high angle radiation. But I'm talking in terms of something that is portable, something that doesn't take up too much space, and I suppose something that the neighbours aren't going to moan about. And with this system, I don't think the neighbours would moan at all. So it is quite compact. And for my antenna testing work, I use one of these Rig Experts. They save so much time. You can get a display of the VSWR, I can check impedance and that sort of thing. So a Rig Expert will save you so much time, and it's a great investment. My initial tests were done with the Yaesu FTX1, which is a QRP transceiver giving about 6 watts, and I thought running low power is ideal for portable operation. It's also great for testing out an antenna, because if it works pretty well on low power, it's going to work even better on higher power. So I use this FTX1F. And for some of the tests I use my little QMX transceiver, which delivers just under 5 watts. I used a mixture of SSB operation and also some CW operation. Here's the VSWR curve on 20 metres. One of the very first contacts I had on 20 metres proved that the system worked at high angle radiation, because I had a contact with a station in Scotland. Not too often you have contact with stations in Scotland on 20 metres.
Give you 5555. Name's John, and my QTH is the town of Oban, Oscar Bravo Alpha Nancy, on the west coast of Scotland. QSL? Very good, Peter, no problem. Brilliant. On the 4 watts, I did get 100% copy on that, and it's enough to get you in the log. Back to you. Golf 3, Oscar Juliet Victor, Mike 8, Upper Quebec X-ray.
Golf 3 Oscar Juliet Victor clear. Cheers.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the call, and I'll say 73s.
Now at this point I haven't actually tried 40 metres. So I'm going to try 40 metres because that will be the big question mark. Can such a short vertical antenna be made to force enough energy down a single 40 metre radial to give meaningful radiation and contacts on the 40 metre band? That's my next task. Now when it came to 40 metres, what I did is I raised the tripod to its maximum. That's actually about 2 metres high, I think. Let me walk over there and you'll see. Well, perhaps it's nearly 2 metres anyway. And I measured out 33 foot of wire. Now fortunately I've got this wooden sort of balustrade going on the outside of the static van here, so I was able to lay it along the wood because wood is a good insulator. So that supported the radial at around about probably just under 2 metres. Let me just show you. Well, you can see it just resting on the wood balustrade there. Right on the screen now you'll see the VSWR curve for the 40 metre band, which is quite respectable. The 40 metre band is pretty awful at the moment. In fact, it's been pretty awful on and off over the last few weeks actually. There's no real short skip, there's not much into G. There's what traffic is coming through the continent. When I set this up and I just switched on the transceiver, there was an ON4 station calling CQ. It was a portable station. He gave me 5 and 9, but I think that was a 5 and 9 because he was just dishing out all 5 and 9s. But at least he got my call sign first time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just tune across 40 metres and you can judge for yourself how it's working. I have got a power cable outside actually, but it doesn't seem to be too bad. So at the moment the antenna is the ATAS-25, which is only about, I don't know, 1.5 metres tall, on top of the tripod, and then we've got this 33 foot radial running along the balustrade. I have to say that the results I'm getting on receive seem to be pretty good. Anyway, let's have a tune across the band.
Landing Victor Charlie, go ahead please. Good afternoon, this is Mike 9 Juliet Victor Charlie. You're 25 dB over 9. The lady in question, the M7, said she's only had her licence 2 months, bless her, so good on her there, my friend. I haven't got your call sign there, over. Yeah, perhaps you can give me your name on the next one as well. The name here is Andy Winnie's size one at the power station, and the call is Mike 0 Alpha Bravo Golf. And I do like your JBC call sign. That makes me think of video recorders. Back to you. Yeah, no worries. Mike 0 Alpha Bravo Golf from Mike 9 Juliet Victor Charlie.
The antenna is particularly interesting because I started off by thinking that I could make a vertical with a single radial radiate high angle radiation, which it does. But in actual fact, I suddenly realised that this antenna has another use, because it'd be a great antenna for a small garden, a near invisible antenna. And really and truly, if you analyse the antenna, you could argue that it's no longer a vertical antenna with a radial. It's actually half a dipole with a resonator section, shorter resonator section on the other side. So we're actually feeding a dipole. One side is very short, the other side is full size. Now, the very short size area, in other words, the ATAS-25, is not going to radiate that well because it's very short. It will radiate a bit. The bulk of the radiation is going to come from that horizontal wire. That horizontal wire is low, which means to say high angle radiation. Okay, basically, I've described what it does anyway. But imagine this in a garden. You've got a wooden fence, hopefully, maybe a brick wall. You could run that horizontal wire along the wooden fence, provided it was wooden, didn't have a lot of metal in it, or probably against a brick wall. It would be invisible. The only item that would be visible would be that quarter wave loaded section, in other words, the ATAS-25. Now, it doesn't have to be an ATAS-25, it could be one of the Ampro whip antennas, just to bring the whole section to resonance. But it's interesting. Not only is it interesting, but it also opens up the possibility of some operation in areas where you couldn't normally operate. How would it work with POTA? Well, I suppose it would work with POTA, although POTA operators tend to have a bit more space than you have in your back garden. Now, is it directive? Well, possibly. It depends on the location. Because the antenna is only about a metre or so above ground, it's going to be quite affected by the ground beneath it. You could argue that there is some directivity to it. I tried to prove it one way or another and I didn't come to any firm conclusion. I could, by swinging the radial around, I could seemingly change the strength of stations, but was that due to QSB? I don't know. So I wouldn't claim any directivity to it. And if there is, it's only minor. It's in a particular or typical location, I would say it's probably omnidirectional. How did it work? Well, it works extremely well. Bearing in mind, I was running QRP, I was never running more than 5 watts. And I got plenty of contacts, both on SSB and on CW. Okay, they weren't rock crashing 5.9 signals all the time, but I was running 5 watts. In fact, at one point I was running about 3.5 watts on the QMX transceiver because the battery was low. But I was getting contacts, and that was good. It was good fun. So I think that if you try this antenna, it's open to experimentation, but it's also open to having a lot of fun. Well, I certainly had some fun with this antenna. Let me know how you get on. In the meantime, here's a few clips to watch.
At the moment, go ahead. Yeah, you're doing a good job. Clear that. On the analog scale at the moment. Located in North London, Enfield. Okay, Tony, not that far away, mate. I'm in Bay in Kent here. Yeah, very hot here. I guess you have a little bit of cold at the moment.